Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody at home.
Thank you.
Public comment on agenda items. Anything on the agenda somebody wants to talk about? If not, we'll move on to approval of the previous minutes, which is the minutes of September 9th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. I read them.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Thank you. No, you couldn't say aye. You weren't here.
Oh, sorry. I understand.
Communications. Who wants to talk about the exhibit at the library? I know our historian sent an email.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
That's going to happen Saturday.
let me get my report out. Ronnie Coffey emailed everybody a couple of weeks ago, and Ty and I a few days ago, and asked us to do the following. At Monday's meeting, could you please remind the board and the public that the exhibit called Hometown USA, Remembering the Iran Hostage Homecoming, will be at the library upstairs on Saturday, September 28th at 12 noon for the public. Preview for the board and the library members is at 11 o'clock. It will continue for 1 week through Saturday, October 5th. Thanks so much. And there's a thing here for this Wednesday. Anyone available to assist them moving stuff from one side of the street to the other between the hours of 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock would be appreciated. And that's what I got.
Thank you.
That's okay.
I transferred $124,517 from the consolidated account to the check run. The big items are New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation. Workers' Compensation was $31,346. Rockland Solid Waste tipping fees, $28,409. Lankin Tully for Town Hall service, water tank project, and the dog pound service, $12,279. Office of the State Comptroller for court fees and fines for July, $9,039. And West Point Tours for summer recreation bus service, $6,950. Any questions on the larger items?
No.
Okay, board liaison reports. We'll start with the lady at the table, Councilwoman Corbett.
Yes. I have just a few things. The ambulance corps had 37 calls, which they dispatched 36 of them. For one of them, a driver was not available on a Tuesday afternoon. So of course, anybody, I would urge anybody who has any interest in that. The Town of Highlands Volunteer Ambulance Corps is always looking for new members, drivers especially, so I put that up there. Ongoing for them, they're supporting football during the season. Next, a week from Tuesday is National Night Out, which was rescheduled from August when it was like 300 degrees and and the weather was very unstable that week. So they rescheduled for a week from Tuesday. That is in parking lot 2, municipal lot there. It starts at 5 p.m. on that night. And they'll be there. The police will be there. It's actually a nice event that they do. And their big fundraiser, the Fall Foliage Festival, is on October 5th, Saturday, October 5th, from 9 to 4. There's always a lot of delightful treasures to be had there, and all the groups are out doing their fundraising too. So please, if you're available, it's a great day. In other departments, the zoning board did not have a meeting for September. Didn't have one in August, not one in September. The planning board, consolidated planning board for the village and town, met last Thursday. They had a short public hearing about 915 Route 9W. That was open and closed without comment. And then they were also pretty much the only old business on there. The aim is to try to get the plans that are with the consolidated planning board, and that I guess will eventually be on file, match what the actual layout of the site is right now, to get them to agree. So keep it a good thought that that's going to happen soon. And then they had, the last part of the meeting was part of the ongoing discussion about the village amending zoning laws to either hinder or help development in the village of Highland Falls. Trustee Ramus and Trustee Carroll were both here from the village board, and it was a good discussion. The planning board is more than willing to have those discussions and to make suggestions. That's all they can do. The planning board and the zoning board both do whatever the village code says. So ultimately, any changes to that are going to be up to the village board. So that's those three. We talked about what's happening at the library Saturday. Also this Saturday is Community Mental Health Day, which is going to be at Lady Cliff Park. And that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So when you come down for that, you could come down to the fair there. They've got some little bit of everything, some yoga, music, rock painting. Also, a lot of mental health resources will be available there with booths. There'll be some speakers. It's pretty informal. It's just a way to show the resources that are already available out there. And that is this Saturday, and then you can pop over to the library. It's just a short walk from Lady Cliff Park over there to see the Iran hostage homecoming display that they're going to have. And that display, so it opens Saturday. Just one more thing, it's going to be available during regular library hours through the 5th of October. So if you can't go Saturday, you can get to the library during the week and see that. I was just a wee child, but I was on Main Street myself on that day when the hostages came through Highland Falls. So it's kind of nice to remember that.
The ticker tape parade for our 8th grade trip.
Where was, down in the city. Mm-hmm. We were Catholic school kids. Oh no, I was in high school then. Never mind. Okay, Mr. Supervisor, that is what I have.
That was plenty. Very good report. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilman DeWitt.
Well, thank you, sir. I'll be yielding most of my time to my fellow board members because I flew the coop for the last meeting. Nice to be back. Did come home to a couple events. Again, Olga and her environmental committee, a little meeting down the river. I just want to remind everybody that, I've said it 1,000 times, you'll hear Olga's name come out of everybody's mouth here. One time or another, she was always working on environmental issues and finding grant money for our town. And I can't state enough how grateful we should be for projects that, she's helped, like, again, making this building more efficient with our window project, which a little grant helped get us off the ground, and we're looking at more. Also, a shout out to the center, had their fundraiser last weekend at the Dodson residence. It was a really nice event. Weather was it was incredible. And then I guess I mentioned the clam bake, the Dem Party, but again, local community people. The Democratic Party had their annual clam bake, which It's always open to everybody, but it was always good to see a lot of our local officials show up, Scoofus and Mr. Ekus, and I think Pat Ryan had a representative there, and of course, a handful of everybody local, just talking about the future of our community, and it's always good to keep on top of things. Otherwise, that's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman King?
Yes, good evening, everyone, and good evening, everyone at home. Just a few, well, actually, one major note to first, as my colleague to the left, Joe DeWitt, has alluded to, Miss Olga Henderson is definitely getting a shout out from me, and along with Miss Sally Dortch for their efforts to have a great event last week for Climate Solutions Week, and it was a discussion around flood resilience right here in the town hall. We had two presenters, one of which was Mr. Kurt Hahn, our town disaster preparedness coordinator, and the other one was Miss Jessica Conan, who was an estuary specialist from the Sea Grant, New York Sea Grant, which is located up in Kingston, New York. They both came in and gave presentations regarding how we could be more resilient in our preparation for, God forbid, but should we have another flood, some of the things that we can do leaning forward and in advance, and taking lessons learned from last year. And so the good news was we had a packed house full of people here in the community, very interested in that topic, and a robust discussion from folks in the audience. And so again, hats off to Miss Olga and Miss Sally. And I think that's it for me.
Sir?
Wait, can I ask one question about the meeting Friday? Sally mentioned to me one of the things that said important as the town board followed through is, I guess there's a lot of grant money available, or what was the conversations about that from Friday? Like, money's available that we need to keep up,
Yeah, so
follow through with? I mean, what is it?
the first part of the discussion from the presenters were, what are the things that we as a community can do? Second part is looking at monies that's necessary to do some of those things, and there is follow-on conversations being planned between myself and Olga specifically, and anybody else that want to participate in that conversation. But we certainly are looking at those options. To your point, is trying to follow up with some of those opportunities. But Olga's the resident expertise on that subject.
And I think Kelly told me that the event did get videotaped and it's going to be posted sometime this week.
It's up already.
Oh, is it up already? Oh, you did? Yeah, I think there's nothing else better to do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly. So, so that Friday's meeting is available on YouTube or on the town's Facebook page? Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councilman Sullivan?
Thank you. So we read off about the Iranian hostage exhibit going on. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't live here. I wasn't here when all that happened. I remember watching it on television. Wish I could have been here for it because it was an extraordinary event. So I'll be sure to go to this display that they have. I'm a little bit garbled here with my notes, but so I'm going to talk about water. There was a 3,000 gallon a day leak down behind the old oak, and that road has 1 meter that feeds all those houses back there. So Greg went down, he had to pump out the meter pit, and they determined the leak was about 3,000 gallons per day. I'm not sure if it's been fixed yet, but it's been addressed. Here we go again. This is a part of the water system that was replaced by the MTBE money. So we talked about the one behind the Catholic Church a year ago, talked about the one by St. Mark's Church, and now this one. Very disappointing.
Rich, is that Mary Teresa's house?
Lisa's, yeah.
That's been fixed.
Okay.
It has been fixed.
Thank you. Okay. So, but they're all on 1 meter, going back to them. The hydrants have been flushed, and the Department of Health required lead inventories being worked on by Greg and Tiffany. That's kind of a heartbreaker because it's a brand new system. There is no lead in that system, but you still got to go through all the stuff anyway. And everybody's, kind of taxed for time, but they're getting there. The master meter at the Village Line up by West Point Trailer Park has a leak in a pressure regulator that's being addressed by Greg, and I think he spoke with Andy at TAM to try and get a parts kit for it to repack it. Kelly can speak to this. There are 14 remaining water customers, correct? Where's Kelly at? I forgot she's filming. That have received letters, 2 weeks ago, and haven't responded yet to those letters, telling them we need to be able to get into the house to replace their meters. We're almost done with that project. I think those 14 are it, right?
That's it. And the deadline to respond is Wednesday.
Okay.
Coming Wednesday.
So if anybody's watching, we're not trying to break into your house. This is a project that we've been going for 2 years into it now. Please answer the letters and let the people go take care of your meter. Also up at the water building in Corbin Hill, we have one pump. There's 2 pumps up there that ran continuously for 138 hours without shutting off. So obviously something's wrong with the control going to it. And that's being looked at by Greg and by Andy from TAM also. Now the sewer plant, there is a pump being replaced up in a small pump station on Canterbury Road. That's in front of Art Brunwasser's house there. The impeller fell off and Jimmy is hoping that they can fix it and put it back into service without buying a new one. A new one's about $3,000. That's only 3 years old, that one. These things happen. There's a problem with a couple of probes in the sludge aeration building to the point where some of the aerators were tripping off over the weekend. I think it was Jeff or Liam that called them up, told them about it. These sensors are $3,000 each, and there's 4 of them. So we have a technician from TAM coming in, or the people that, this has only been installed for 3 or 4 years now, to take a better look at that before we go buying $12,000 worth of sensors. And without air, you don't have activated sludge. That's part of the chemistry, so it has to be done. For the month of August, the flow was 81,000 gallons per day average. We had 7.8 inches of rain. They keep track of it. I didn't think it was that much rain we had, but in the beginning of August, I guess it was a little bit wet. And there's a couple of problems with some piping in the chlorine room. They made some temporary repairs. We shut that off at the end of October, and that'll be addressed because you don't have to chlorinate after October until April. Highway, most of my conversation with Greg was about the little things going on with water. So I know that I took a drive up to Dry Creek Road and saw some of the deficiencies up there, and Greg and I talked about that. It's not terrible, but it's something that's lingered for a while, and that road was scheduled to be completely repaved before the flood. So that kind of set that back. So the road is navigable, there's some patches, but there's still work to be done up there. I didn't get a chance to drive up on Mine Road. I know they've done some intermittent work up there also. That's about it with the highway. Most of what we talked about revolved around water. They take care of the salt and all that stuff. The next meeting, I'll have a report that they're gonna be ready and how much salt do they use. I'll give you all those numbers at the next meeting. Hopefully 0. I say that hopefully. Actually, the climate needs snow and some cold weather, but we're not getting it, so we'll just have to see how that goes. In the building department, the car has a faulty transmission, and while it's drivable, the transmission is worth about 5 times, transmission will cost about 5 times more than what the car is worth. So we have the black pickup truck that Gary procured at the highway department. It was here. They're using that. They have transportation. We have about 16 grand in the reserve fund for a vehicle, and the assessor uses that also. I think we can make something happen with that amount of money that won't be a jalopy as we figure this out. I have no other report for the building department except that. The Citizens Environmental Advisory Committee, Joey touched upon, had their annual picnic down at Mine Dock Park. It was well attended. It was a good time. It's nice to relax with people that work hard all year long. Took care of a little bit of business, one of which was having a second hike. and I'm hoping to maybe do something October 19th. I can't confirm that yet, because I'm busy every weekend with a bunch of things going on up until November. I may be able to squeeze in that date. And I was here Friday night along with Mr. King, and Joe could have been here, but we gave him the night off, and Nancy was here. And I want to thank Nancy for her conscientiousness. She probably won't like me to talk about this. She called me, and when I walked in, she said, there's 3 of us here, so it would be a quorum. There are times when town board members can be more than a quorum or more. For a function like that, I think it's essential that we be here for what happened to the community. I don't think any laws are broken or anything like that, but I want to thank Nancy for her conscience. I called Bob to check with him on that to make sure we were cool. I'm going to have a little bit of a report. We have a new business in Fort Montgomery, the new Freedom Chevrolet. The lot is filled with vehicles. I'm kind of hoping I can talk to them as per our procurement policy about a vehicle to get for the building department and the assessor. We'll see what they have to offer. A couple of things on 9/11. I want to thank Vision, Doris Lent, and all those people. They invited me to talk. Everybody can tell I'm afraid of public speaking. So Mary Jane said I had 17,000 words. Nobody told me something like that? So I spoke for a few minutes, and it was very nice, and I'm very thankful for that. And just a little plug. I have a friend of mine who is Chaplain Ford's son. He was a chaplain to the Corps of Cadets and to the Congress. His name is Peter Ford. He loves it up here. He has the keys to my house. He comes up all the time to visit. His class 79 and my class 78, and part of 77 are having a reunion. October 5th is one of the days. I know that day is Twin Forts Day at the battle site, so I kind of got to be there. I kind of got to be at the reunion. And Nancy mentioned something else happening that day. Is that fall foliage?
Fall foliage, yes.
So going to be a busy day in town, and just a little plug for Peter for all the work he's putting in. And he came to this meeting here on Friday night because even though he doesn't live here anymore, he cares about the community, and I think that's very inspirational. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. Very good report. Very good. As usual. As usual.
He's the chaplain's son.
Chief, do you have anything for us? No. I got you on the agenda for some more. Okay. Okay. And Kelly, do you have anything? Olga,
Secret Service.
in your position as head of the name of the committee, it escapes me, the Bronze Award that we got, could you explain a little bit about that?
Well, thank you so much. And let me first start by saying thank you to everybody on the board for what was really a pretty dynamic evening last Friday. So it was really with your support that we were able to host it here and publicize it as being co-sponsored by the town of Highlands through Climate Solutions Week. So I think that looks really good for us. Bronze certification. We as a committee and as a town sanctioned committee participate in 2 programs with New York State. One is a Clean Energy Communities program, and that's the one through which we have gotten the grant money that's being used to improve some of the things here at Town Hall. The other program is Climate Smart Communities program, which is got some separate but some similar action items that the state is trying to promote with municipalities to address climate action. So as a result of the things that our committee and the town has been doing routinely over the last number of years, we were able to document those to the state's satisfaction and submit them to the program, and we racked up enough points to get this bronze certification, which just specifies that we have done X number of things that the state is really recognizing as positive for climate. So we haven't gotten the plaque yet. I presume it's going to be some kind of a plaque or some kind of a certificate. It hasn't come in the mail yet, but I will certainly let you know when it does.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do.
one thing I forgot to mention, not being selfish, it's important, is I was lucky enough on Saturday to go to the superintendent's breakfast up at the Officers Club, or whatever they call it now. He mentioned to me he's thankful for what we're doing down here. I just want everybody to know that, okay? He knows who we are.
Okay, going on with the agenda. I have 2 resignations, unfortunately, from the police department. One is the patrol officer Nicholas Torino, who is resigning effective October the 1st. And he says he is extremely grateful for the opportunity I've had to work here, and I would love to leave the door open in case I get the opportunity to work here again in the future. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. And I don't have the second letter, Kelly. You know. Okay. Because I forgot to ask you for it. That's my fault. So I told you I needed it. Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Okay, this is a letter from Colby Walters, Patrol Officer Colby Walters. I've had the privilege of working alongside dedicated and compassionate individuals who are committed to making a positive impact on the community. The meaningful work that we have done together has reinforced my belief in the importance of police work. My last day of work will be July the 7th, providing a period of 2 weeks, providing notice period of 2 weeks as my employment contract. During this time, I am fully committed to ensuring a smooth and seamless transition of my duties. Signed, Colby Walters. I have a motion to accept the resignation.
Question, you said July the 7th of 2025?
Yes.
I can speak to that. Officer Walters had a baby, and she was out for a number of months.
Okay.
She came back in June, worked about a couple shifts, and decided that she wanted to resign. I asked her to take the summer to really think it through before she committed. The summer's over, she contacted me and said she wanted to move forward with the resignation.
So this was something you was holding?
24.
So this is kind of a retroactive
Yes.
resignation.
Motion.
Yeah. And a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. And Kelly, you have this letter. Do you have the other letter too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Chief, you're on. Agreement. Orange County Sheriff's Department and us.
So this is an agreement that would facilitate the police department to, when we make a mandatory arraignment arrest, we can drop that arrestee off at the sheriff's department until the next arraignment. We've had 2 instances in the last 3 months where we've made warrant arrests in the afternoon, and because we weren't on this list, we were forced to keep the arrestee in our custody, and the officers that made the arrest had to stay for a considerable period of time until the judge could make an arraignment. So this would prevent that from happening in the future.
Okay. This agreement needs to be signed by the authorized town official. Would that be me or you?
I believe that's you, that's why I brought it here. If it's me, I can sign it if I...
Justin, what do you think? It's-
I'm guessing it's the supervisor.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but it says town, village, or New York State Police official? Yeah, so I'll sign it and I'll get it to you.
Should probably just ask.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll ask for a motion to allow the supervisor to sign this memorandum of agreement between the Orange County Sheriff's Department and the local and state police agencies.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sure. Supervisor Lizzie?
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Aye.
Councilmember Story?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. through Senator Skoufis's office, we have a request from a local person that went to him to see if they could get the speed limit on Old State Road reduced to 30 miles per hour. Now, and Justin, you want to explain the procedure that we are required to go through?
Certainly. So Old State Road is a New York State controlled roadway. It's Route 980U in their parlance. But so the board needs to pass a resolution requesting that they investigate that request, and they'll ultimately make a determination. They can be slow in reviewing these matters, but without your resolution requesting it, nothing will move forward.
Okay, so I have a resolution requesting New York State Department of Transportation to reduce the speed limit on Old State Road in the town of Highlands for safety reasons.
Where does that go, from the cemetery to 9W?
Yes, that's our part, and the village has to pass the same resolution. And the resolution doesn't say the speed limit, which I'm sure the state will determine what they want.
Yeah, well, it indicates that it's currently 40, that you want it lowered, and it does indicate that the village of Highland Falls is similarly concerned and intends to pass a similar resolution.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion to move the resolution.
Also move.
Second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Lindsay.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Aye.
Councilmember Swartz.
Aye.
What's interesting is on 218, when you're going north on 218, you get to the cemetery, everything on the right is in the village. But what's on the left is in the town until you get all the way up by like Bruce Meyer's house and whatnot. So maybe it's a double yellow line. I don't know where the town line is. But the portion to the left is in the town.
Getting west of the road is the town, and I think the road is where the barrier is.
Okay, I have a resolution amending the annual driving record review policy of the town of Highlands. Whereas the town board of the town of Highlands adopted a driving record review policy on August the 27th, 2018 for the safety of the citizens and employees of the town. Whereas the town board has reviewed provisions related to driving town vehicles and would like to amend the same. The town board believes it is in the public interest to establish a policy and procedure for transporting any non-employee or civilian in a town-owned vehicle, whereas the adoption of said amendment is a local legislative decision in conjunction with continuing agency administration and management, and does not include new programs, major reordering of priorities that may affect the environment, and accordingly is a type 2 action under the State CEQA Review Act. Therefore, be it resolved that the annual driving record review policy is amended to add a section D entitled Additional Policies to read as follows. An employee driver may not transport any non-town employee or civilian in a town-owned vehicle. The town board can make exceptions when an employee is transporting other individuals in the performance of the employee's official town duties. Ask for a motion to...
Motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Lindsay.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Aye.
Councilmember Swartz.
Aye.
Congratulations, chief. Now you can pick up hitchhikers.
So just so I understand, so if, here, I'll pick on Aaron, but if he's if somebody's helping him with something that's related, then that person can ride with him.
Exactly.
Okay, but
Exactly.
otherwise,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, he can't take his kids out in the car. I'm just using.
No, if he was taking his kids to school because they need a ride to school, he can't do it.
Okay, that's, and again, I'm just
Yeah,
picking on Aaron, everything, for no reason.
he's not here, so we can pick on him.
Okay, that's what.
Okay, in April, the village notified us that they were increasing water rates. Unfortunately, that means that we must raise our rates as well. Currently, we pay the village $142.50 for the first 5,000 gallons for each account, and $6.94 per 1,000 gallons thereafter. The village is raising the cost of the first 7,500 gallons to $198.75, and the $6.94 per 1,000 gallons stays the same. We are currently charging our customers $161 for the first 5,000 gallons, and about 10% higher than it is about 10% higher than we purchased it for. I propose we increase our rate to $220 for the first 7,500 gallons, which is over 10% of our cost. I have a resolution authorizing the water rates pursuant to Chapter 23 of the Code of the Town of Highlands. I just read all the reasons for. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Town of Highlands hereby authorizes the following increases in water rents from the current charge of $161 for the first 5,000 gallons to $220 for the first 7,500 gallons. The water rent will remain the same at $6.94 per 1,000 gallons. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second?
Okay, and are there any questions on this?
No, just, I guess a little bit thankful, went up 39%, that the village deferred it from April until now. Because we initially got this news back in April. I think a few people barked and they deferred it till now, but here we are. But it is 39% increase.
Anybody hear some of the reasons behind it? I did not. Do you know any, like, is it just cost of doing business, or?
I don't really know. And I mean, you know, that's their system. I'm just gonna say across the river, unless you're a city, almost every municipality has privatized their water and sewer, all of them. And if you could share between the village and town those services, nobody needs to panic. Down at our sewer plant, they're all part-time guys from Rockland County anyway. But that would be something that would be of interest in the future to save some money. Just threw it out there.
If I can, the increase, they also increased the 5,000 gallons to 7,500, so that affects that percentage.
Softens the blow.
Okay, roll call, please.
Supervisor Lipsy?
Yeah, aye.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Aye.
And Councilmember Stover?
Aye.
Okay, this next resolution, I hope we don't need it. I really sincerely hope we don't need it, and I am going to do my best to not need this. This is a local law to override the tax levy limit established by General Municipal Law, Article 3C. This will need a public hearing, which will be held at the Town Hall on the 14th day of October 2024 at 7 p.m. So I'm going to ask for a motion to schedule the public hearing. Is that all we need the motion for?
Just the one motion, yeah, that introduces the local law and schedules the public hearing.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Lipsy.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmembers DeWitt.
Hey, you did it, I was waiting. Aye.
Councilmember Spillier.
Aye.
It's been about 6 months.
Okay, the last thing on our agenda is an update on the new dog kennel. As you may remember from the last meeting, we awarded a bid to FC&C Construction. They forward to us a design which is basically exactly the same, maybe not the measurements, but exactly the same as what the dog pound was when we lost it. It's a cinder block building, has all the amenities. The only thing we didn't have before is a sewer coming out of the building and going to the sewer line. But other than that, we're building a new dog kennel. It'll house 2 dogs, which is the same as the last one. And they'll be fenced in, and it should be complete within 2 months. That's a verbal agreement with Frankie Fay, but anybody have any questions or want to add to that, or what have you? Rich? It's got to go in approximately the same place down at the sewer plant. I was asked, well, why don't we put it someplace else? Think about it. Where else are you going to put howling dogs? Sewer plant is the perfect spot for it.
It's going to be really nice. Can it double as a prison or Airbnb it?
Well, if the chief needs it, we can do that, yeah.
The mutual agreement.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be well equipped, better than any prison or any jail cell.
How many have you been in?
Wow, that's a good one. Well played.
Hey,
Sometimes
we
it
just
presents itself.
Well played.
Okay, is there any public comment on anything? Yes, sir. Gary?
So, Gary Lux, I represent the Town of Highlands Disaster Fund Committee. So I know it's been a while since we've seen any applications come in, but I just want to let the community know that there's still about a little over $1,900 in that account. It's been a while since we've had a storm, thank the Lord, and hopefully we won't have another one. But just remember that that fund is not just for when a disaster happens. If there's a major life event that you have, you can go ahead and submit an application. I can convene, we can convene the committee, we can talk about it, discuss it, and we can move forward with awarding if it's prudent. I know that there used to be applications at the library and also at Town Hall. I'll check with people that work there to make sure there still are. If not, I'll go ahead and make sure that there's applications there. But it is out there. It's still a viable thing that we're going to keep doing and keep sustaining, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when something, unfortunately, like 2023 is going to happen again on July 9th. So I just put that out for public consideration. Thank you.
Mary, as a volunteer, I thank you very much for your service.
No problem.
Appreciate
Happy
it.
to do it.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Kyle Davidson. I live over on Center Street, and I just wanted to address a pest control problem that I've noticed throughout the town since actually July 9th, 2023. I've been noticing a huge uptick in skunks, particularly skunks, a little bit of raccoons, but mostly the skunks. The odor is becoming a little bit noxious throughout all of Center Street, all of Snyder Street. I'm seeing them all throughout Main Street. A lot of coworkers that I've worked with within the town, they've also been reporting this problem, and wonder if there's something that we can do about it.
Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm passing the buck, but the town board is more or less responsible for things outside of the village, other than planning board, recreation, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
The dog control officer is strictly that, a dog control officer. She's not allowed to do anything else by law.
Okay. It sounds like the town needs to invest in some sort of pest control for this, just some sort of skunk relocation.
Okay, where you're talking about would be the village. So you'd have to approach the village at one of their meetings and ask them what they can do about it.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to pass the buck, but just the way it is.
I got a question. Have you tried the village board?
I have not. This is actually my first attending meeting.
Yeah, so the lowest form of government in the state of New York is village. And so where we're at geographically is inside the village right now. So right on Center Street where you're talking about is the village. So if you look across from the library, the village hall is there, where the mayor, the trustees that govern the laws inside the village. But to your point, I'm glad you came in here because I thought it was just me seeing all these skunks.
I got one on my camera last night.
Yeah, like I brought it up because I saw it, someone needed to say it.
No, thank you. Having lived on Center, oh, sorry.
I would just say village meetings are on the first and third Mondays, or second.
And they're
fourth,
at
so-
Village Hall.
I think Village Hall or,
They have one next Monday.
Yeah, they have
Next
this one
Monday.
on the 7th of October. They've actually amended their schedule. They're only doing them like almost like once a month now. So the next village meeting is usually at Village Hall right over here, usually at 7th of October.
They got way off
They-
schedule.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
There is a meeting October 7th, but there's one next Monday also.
Oh, okay, perfect. I misspoke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, they got.
was that a summer schedule though, or are they back
They only
on?
met once in July and August.
Yeah.
They call it workshop, but they didn't say what they're discussing.
No, thank you for coming tonight, and,
And
but at least sitting during our meeting, you see what we do.
Exactly.
Okay.
cat here or skunk here?
Kelly, are we gonna do the, it's up to you. No.
We can wait until we're done the 14th.
I just heard a no from this side. I don't know who it was, but I just heard a no. Okay, we'll do it on the 14th then. I'll ask for a motion to, what?
What we doing on the 14th?
That,
Oh, sorry, thank you.
motion. I got a motion to adjourn, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you, yes.
Yeah, we got Monday Night Football.
Sometimes it